3 tonight here on ESPN Radio.
All right, the Packers are going to pick. Yes.
Hey.
Let's go. It's draft day.
That's a huge storyline that we didn't even touch on. Like, there were 8 teams that bailed on the first round last night.
Yeah.
A quarter of the league opted out of the first round.
That's right.
That is wild to me.
What to watch for, brought to you by PayPal, the official peer-to-peer payment sponsor of the NFL. What to watch for is the success of the NFC East. You both came in this morning saying, that division made some noise last night. So let's run through it team by team here as to why you both are coming in saying this is the storyline in terms of which division got the most improvement or the opportunity for improvement. NFC East. Giants drafted 2 guys, Arvell Reese and Francis Mariano. How do I say his name? I just got it wrong. So I've been saying it right all show long. Now, of course, I said it wrong. Maui Noah, right? If I'm not mistaken. Yep. The offensive tackle, who I think CC's telling us is probably going to play guard for the Giants. 5 and 10, respectively. How did the Giants do last night?
I thought the Giants did outstanding. They didn't think that Arvell Reese would fall to them. They did. They pounced on it. No hesitation. They came back, and they went with a guy that's a road grader in the run game. Noah, I think being able to protect Jackson Dart, being able to have a firm pocket for him is going to be a huge impact on the program building for John Harbaugh. Think about it from this perspective. The last time the Giants had the offensive line settled, solidified, they were contending for championships in the early 2010s. And so I think they want to get back to that now that they recognize that they got something in Jackson Dart. You hit on the quarterback, that's the hardest part. And now it's a matter of making sure you protect him. If you buy the home, you got to make sure you get the homeowner's insurance. And that is Francis Mariano, being able to draft him, slot him in at right guard next to Jermaine Illuminor, who they extended. You got JMS at center, John Runyon at left guard, and then left tackle is Andrew Thomas. So all of a sudden now you're looking at the offensive line for the Giants. You feel really good about the guys that are going to protect Jackson Dart. You also feel good about the guys that are going to pave the way for the run game with Cam Scatterbo when he comes back healthy. So I love what the Giants did last night.
I love what the Giants did last night, too. I think we have to see how it plays out on the field, but good feelings around the beginning of the John Harbaugh era in New York. I love that they got impact players on both sides of the ball.
The trenches,
yes,
the lines.
Which feels very Harbaugh, doesn't it? It feels very New York Giants.
It's very Harbaugh, but it's also very New York Giants.
Yes.
The DNA of the Giants, when they have a strong defensive line, strong offensive line, they win championships. That has been it 86, 90, 2007, 2011. Strong offensive line, strong defensive line, franchise quarterback.
Boom. There you go.
All right, next up, Washington Commanders. So interesting how this one developed. They're sitting there at 7. Mendoza, we know, goes number 1. The Jets made the decision to go David Bailey. Jets, by the way, I like the Jets had a good draft, I think. I can't believe I just said that.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did. They had a good night.
3 first-rounders this year, and they have 3 first-rounders next year.
Yeah, they had a good night.
The Jets are pretty decent in terms of what they did last night. Jeremiah Love stays there at Arizona at 3. Carnell Tate, the big surprise, goes 4. We just talked about the Giants getting Arvell Reese. The Kansas City Chiefs trade up with the Browns to get a cornerback out of LSU. And so, and then all of a sudden, Sonny Styles is sitting there at number 7 overall. 6'5", inside backer, from the Ohio State University, a guy who Gary V represents, Vayner Sports, AJ and Gary represent, and Gary was with us earlier this week. Yeah. And Gary said, you cannot have a character person higher than this young man. Plays all over the field, safety, etc. Sonny Styles, I think, falls in their lap at 7. I know one person on this show does not agree with that thought process.
Yeah, I thought that the Commanders got caught flat-footed because it's clear that the Chiefs felt like they had to move up in front of them in order to take Mansour Delane. They were a team that was targeting a quarterback, the Washington Commanders, coming into this draft, and Delane was the creme de la creme, the best one that was going to be available.
And they gave up a 3rd and a 5th to Cleveland, so they gave up some good ammo to move up 3 spots.
Yeah, they did, and I just can't believe that Washington got caught in that situation and didn't get their guy, seeing him go 1 pick ahead of them for a team that traded up. I would say that Washington took the best available player in Sonny Styles. How that works with their defense, that 3-4, remains to be seen. Now, I know they've got 2 inside linebackers and Frankie Luvo, and they signed Leo Chanel. Luvo's in the final year of his contract, so maybe Sonny Styles is going to be a guy that they use, and they find a way to get on the field in their base fronts. but then taking over that Frankie Louvu position full-time, a year from now. We'll see what ends up happening, but I thought that they were the team that was looking for Delane, and the Chiefs beat them to the punch.
But Sonny Styles is not a bad consolation prize. I mean, he's obviously an excellent player. He's got the speed. He's got the leadership, as you talked about, great on-field communicator from what everybody says. He's got that versatility. You have a new DC coming in there, and you can use Sonny Styles in different ways. It provides them a little bit of flexibility. I didn't mind the pick for Washington with Sonny Styles.
I will say this. When you take a linebacker in the top 10, off-the-ball guy, he's got to be day one starter.
Yeah.
So it'll be curious to see what happens with Washington, how they make it work with all of those veteran linebackers.
All right, let's get to two other teams in the NFC East, because we're saying the NFC East may have stolen the draft last night. The Cowboys, who had 12, move up to 11. They get Ohio State safety Caleb Downs, and they also make a trade with Philadelphia, and they move down in the draft, their second first-round pick, and they get Malachi Lawrence, a defensive end edge player out of UCF. What do you think about, CC, your former team, and what they did here?
I thought they were outstanding. Caleb Downs is going to be a star, literally and figuratively. He's going to play with the star on his helmet. He's going to play at the star. I mean, it's going to be a good fit for Dallas. This is a guy that not only is going to be uber productive on the field, gives their defense a lot of versatility, but he's also going to be a culture builder for that defensive unit that's going over a little bit of a makeover. So I love Caleb Downs. Malachi Lawrence, another sneaky big pickup for the Dallas Cowboys. He's got a lot of burst off of the edge. He's got violent hands. The best way that I could say it is he's got juice in the pass rush. And that's what the Dallas Cowboys needed to add. They traded for Rashawn Gary. Now you got Malachi Lawrence. You're starting to put some pieces in place to help you get back to being able to put pressure on the quarterbacks consistently.
And Smalls, Eagles, Malachi Lemon, wide receiver out of USC, falls to them. They trade up to get him, but he, in essence, falls to them. It's almost a non-story, the A.J. Brown. It's like they can say whatever they want. He's going to be on the Patriots. Every move proves that he's going to be on the Patriots.
Leave it to Howie Roseman and the Eagles. You get Mekhi Lemon. You add to that wide receiver room. You've already done it so far with Hollywood Brown, Dontavian Wicks. You have been planning for the A.J. Brown departure, and then you just add another really significant piece to that wide receiver room in this draft. I absolutely love this pick for Philly.
He's right there for them. He could have been a top 10 pick. And they could say A.J. Brown's still on the team, which he is. He's not going to be on the team for long.
Where you going? They
Yeah,
were back
right
right
there.
there.
By me. I wanted
Matter
to
of fact, the Eagles used the Cowboys pick, didn't they?
Yeah, I don't
Just
deserve
meshed
the
it all
Yeah,
together.
just put it all together. That's all it was. That's all that happened.
I
It's
appreciate the defense, but I don't deserve it. Okay, so last night we were there. I can't shout out Marriott Bonvoy enough.
Oh, it was
Inner
unreal.
Circle. The inner circle that we were at as part of the draft, we had this unbelievable setup. We're sitting right there in front of the stage. We had these great chairs and this lounge area,
Oh, yeah.
food, drinks, etc. And we're watching the draft. And I would say that as we were sitting there, 3, 4, 13. You want to say the big surprise or the big moments of the draft? 3 with Jeremiah Love, we just heard there, going number 3 overall, Arizona, running back Notre Dame. 4, Carnell Tate, wide receiver, Ohio State, going 4 overall to Tennessee. I don't know that we saw that one coming that way. And then, obviously, 13, Rams, Ty Simpson. Small CC, which one was the biggest surprise for you of the night last night? Or maybe something else.
Before we get to the teams and the picks,